Following breaking news out of Washington, where the Supreme Court has ruled saying that foreign terrorism suspects held at Guantanamo Bay have rights under the U.S. Constitution to challenge their detention in U.S. civilian courts. Let's turn now to NBC Justice correspondent Pete Williams live from the Supreme Court. So Pete, what more can you tell us on this, and also curious about the timing, what this means for the timing?
Well, what I can tell you is that this is the third defeat in a row for the Bush administration on the legal rights of detainees in Guantanamo Bay, one of the most vexing questions in the war on terror. And what the Supreme Court says today is that these detainees have a constitutional right to have their lawyers come to federal courts in the U.S. and say, you've got the wrong guy. The ability to challenge their detentions in the first place. Now, the reason this is a big deal today is that 2 years ago, the Supreme Court said the same thing, but that time it was based on federal law, and Congress changed the law and took away the right of these detainees to go to court. Today, the Supreme Court said this is a constitutional right. What that means is that Congress can't just do this by a matter of changing the law. Now, there are a couple of other things, Monica, that are important to say. This was a 5-4 decision. It said that the court said that normally we would just kick this back to the lower courts to decide, but these people have been held for so long that it begs for some kind of decision. Now, there was a vigorous dissent from Justice Scalia. This was a 5-4 decision, as I said. He said the federal courts simply are incompetent to decide who is legitimately an enemy combatant. And he said some of these people that have been released from Guantanamo have gone on to stage attacks in Iraq. Now, as for the big question, what does this mean for the people in Guantanamo Bay? For most, it now means they're going to be able to come into court and challenge their detentions. As for the big five, Khalid Sheikh Mohammed and others, not quite so clear, because their habeas challenges are probably weaker than some of these others.
That's right, and I know Jim Miklashevsky is already reporting from the Pentagon that the Pentagon will have a statement on this later today as well, and I know, Pete, we're going to be hearing more from you in the next hour on this.
You bet.
Pete Williams, thank you so much.
You bet.